In this video today I'm going to show you everything you need to know about designing, building and publishing a landing page using the Kit platform. So let's dive in. So we are here inside Kit, the desktop version of Kit, and we are going to be looking at creating a landing page. So navigate to the menu that says Grow, Landing Pages and Forms, and then this button here says Create New. Now you get two options. You'll be able to create a form or a landing page. Now some people ask the question, what's the difference between a form and a landing page? A form tends to be like just the text elements or the data that you're going to collect from your subscriber. So we've all seen it, a form like this, like a first name, an email address and a button. So that tends to be a form. Okay, so that little bit there, nothing else. And that form tends to be embedded on normally a website. So if you have a WordPress website or a Squarespace, a Wix, any type of website platform, you can create a form in Kit, get a little snippet of code and copy it and paste it into your website, and you can host the form, just like this one here on my website. Contrast that with a landing page. A landing page is essentially a full page, a web page that you don't need a website for. It's hosted by Kit. It's hosted on the Kit servers, and everything that happens inside that landing page is all done inside Kit. Okay, so that's what I'm going to show you today, the landing page. So when we click on that, you'll see that Kit offers up a list of templates to give you a start to make your own landing page. Now which one you choose is pretty irrelevant. Just choose one that you like the look of, because once you select it, it will load it into the editor, and then you can make changes to make it look and feel the way you want. So I'm going to take one. So I'm going to click choose, and Kit will now load it into the editor. So now we're in the landing page editor. So the first thing I always do inside here is I change the name of the page so that it makes sense when I see it in amongst a list of pages. So I'm going to call this one demo landing page video. Let's call it that. And like I say, this is what it looks like directly from the template that Kit provides. If you want to then start to edit that, you can do. So let's say I want to change this image here. Click on the image, and then on the right hand side is where you can start to edit. So just for context, wherever you place your mouse or place the cursor on the landing page, on the right hand side will be contextual information about that particular element. So if I click on the image, on the right hand side it's got image settings. If I click on where it says email address, it changes to all these properties are referencing that text box. And if I click on this paragraph of text here on the right hand side, you can see this is now referencing that text. So whatever you click on in the landing page, on the right hand side is contextual information that can be changed on that element on the right hand side. So if I click on that image and then I say replace, I'm going to replace it with, let's say I'm going to replace it with that image if I want, and then I can change the text here if I want to. Let's say I'm offering a downloadable guide, a downloadable PDF. Download your free guide today. Let's see. The image on the back here, I can also change that. If I get in there and you can see it's there, I'm going to change it to, let's say, something different. Now on the left hand side here, you've got options when it comes to images as well. So at the top you can upload images. You can mark some images as your favourites. So if you use images repeatedly, you can hover over it. You see a little heart there. Click the heart, and that will be then saved into your favourites, so you can reference it easily and quickly. I'm going to deselect that. Recently used ones, and then you've got Unsplash. Unsplash is a resource that has a library of free images that you can use, so you can search on there as well. And then another couple of options there, one with Instagram, one with Hero Patterns. So it's just other ways of getting access to images that you want to use inside your landing pages. So let's say I want to change this background to something that was on, let's say, Unsplash, and if I type in here, let's say city, And then let's choose this one. This looks like, I don't know if this is Singapore or, not sure where it is. You can see now the backdrop now changes to that. Okay. On the right hand side, we've got the information that we're going to capture from the subscriber on the landing page. The email address is non-negotiable. Every landing page, every time you collect a subscriber on your email list, they have to have an email address, so that's mandatory, that field. If you want to add additional forms on it, this little plus button here allows you to do that, and then you can select from which one you want to, the list for which one you want to show in there. I'm going to choose first name, and then I'm going to reorder it by dragging that little sort of hamburger icon. Lets you drag them and reposition them. You can also make it mandatory rather than optional. So if I click on the first name here, you can see the required checkbox here. If I make that, if I put a tick in that, it means that the subscriber has to submit that information. If I make it not required, then it's optional whether they supply a first name or not. So I'm going to leave it like that. The subscribe button, you can change the text on that to something like download free guide, so it's more meaningful to the thing you're giving away. And also the colour of the button, you can change that as well. So let's say I wanted it to pop a little bit more, a bit green, and now the white text doesn't pop just as well, so I might want to change the text to maybe a dark blue, and that looks a bit better. You can also change the border of the button if you want to, so you can make it, put a bit of a rounded edge on the corners if you want. And then anywhere you see on a form anywhere on a landing page where you see a little plus appearing, so if you just look over here at the moment where I click my mouse, you'll see that little plus sign appearing. That means that you can add in additional elements if you want to. So let's say I wanted to add in here, let's say maybe a divider just to separate that bit off, and then up here I wanted to add in maybe a video. I can add in a video if I wanted to. It'll ask me for the link for a video. So let me just grab a video URL from copy video URL and paste that into here, and then embed. So now you see the video appears in here as well. So you've got options about what you can add to your page to make it look the way you want it to look. This little badge down at the bottom, built with kit, if I click on that, you can see if you're on a paid plan, you can deselect that so that it doesn't appear. It looks greyed out at the moment, but if I preview this, you'll see it disappears altogether at the bottom, so you don't actually see it. So let's imagine that's the way you want to, you want your landing page to look, and you're happy with that. Now it's time to adjust the settings, configure the settings for the page. So the way you do that is up here. It's called under settings. If I click on settings, this little form pops up. Okay. Now, first thing it asks you down the left hand side, there's 5 menu items: general, domain name, incentive, advanced, and SEO and analytics. I'm going to walk through each one of these just to explain what they are. So the first one under general, it says that when a visitor subscribes to the page, in other words, when they submit their details, what do you want Kit to do? Now, by default, it says just show them a success message. The default success message is here, but if you want to type in your own text, you can do that too. You can make that whatever you want it to be. Alternatively, what you can do is you can direct them to an external page. So this is after they've submitted their details, remember. So you can click that and then put a URL in there. So let's say I was going to put in my website, and that would then take them, after they submit the details, it would take them to that. Now typically I would actually take them to a thank you page. It would be something like that, just to thank them for submitting the details and ask them to go and check their inbox for a confirmation email. However, there's also a third option that you can put in here that you can't see at the moment. I'm going to show you, so I'm going to cancel this at the moment, go and show you how to add in this third option, and then we'll come back into the landing page settings. So we'll cancel that for the moment. Now up to the right, up to the top, you'll see this button that says add page. Now what this does is it adds in a thank you page, and the thank you page is created based on the template that you've selected for your landing page. Okay, so I'm going to click add page. Kit will then go and create the page, and now you can see it looks very similar to our landing page. So I've got the landing page here, and I've got the thank you page here. Okay, and I can change that image again there. I could, put that that image that I just used there back in again, just for consistency. So now when I and again, just like the landing page, I can get in here and I can change the text. So I might get in there and say something like, please check your inbox for a confirmation email that I just sent you, something like that. So you're so you're giving the people that sign up the expectations of what's to happen next. I also, just for a side note, I also ask them, if you can't see an email, please check your spam folder. Now, the reason I ask that is because if they don't see that email, it just lands in their spam folder and they don't ever see it, then they'll reside on your email marketing system on Kit as what's known as an unconfirmed subscriber. So it's always good just to put a bit of direction in there, just to say, go and check your email. If you can't find it, please check your spam folder. Okay, so now that we've created the thank you page, I'm now going to go back to the landing page, and I'm going to go back to settings again. So now, this time you can see there's a third option, and it's this one in the middle here. It says redirect to a thank you page. Okay, so I'm going to select that one. So after they submit the details, they'll be taken to that thank you page. Second one down, domain name. Okay, so this is where we create a URL that we can share across our social platforms, our publishing platforms, on our emails, wherever we want to share this URL, we can share it. And I'm going to say, so for the suffix bit here, we're allowed to type this in. So this bit here is predetermined. This is what we get free from Kit. We get whatever we call our email, typically our company name or our personal name or our brand name, and then it's followed by .kit.com. Okay, but this bit in here is the suffix, so it's the bit that goes after the /. So in this case, I might say free guide. I might have used that already. Let me just try and see. Yeah, it's saying that I've already got that. So free guide, I'm going to email, let's say, and click add. Now what you see down here is it's now generated this URL based on what I've just typed in there. So it's now kitmastery.kit.com/free guide to email. So this will become the published URL that I can share with my audience, so that they can click on this. Okay. So that's domain name. Incentive. So this is the bit where we decide what type of opt-in policy we want to employ for our landing page. Now, if you're not familiar with the term opt-in policy, there's basically two choices. You can have a single opt-in policy or a double opt-in policy. I'll explain the difference. I'll tell you which I use, and then it's up to you what you decide you want to use. A single opt-in is someone submits their name, or their email address at least, sometimes their email and their name. That's taken, and it's then automatically confirmed as a subscriber on your email list. Okay, they don't need to check their email inbox for a confirmation email. They don't need to do anything like that. It just becomes a confirmed subscriber inside Kit. Contrast that with a double opt-in, which means they submit their details. Kit sends them an email saying, it looks like you've just requested this particular thing, in this case a downloadable guide. Looks like you want to join the list. Please click this button below to confirm it was you and that you own this email address and you want to subscribe to my list. When they get that email, they click on the button inside the email. That sends a message back to Kit to say, yep, I definitely want to join your email list, and I definitely want that thing that you're giving away, in this case the downloadable guide. And that's what's known as a double opt-in, because you're asking them twice, first on the form, secondly with the confirmation email. I personally use a double opt-in policy. The main reasons I use it is to prevent people, or more likely bots, joining my email list through a single opt-in policy where they would just be added and added and added to my list. The other reason I like to use it is because I think it's an additional step that people need to invest, and it demonstrates that they've got a genuine interest in the thing that I'm actually offering. So in this example, my guide, and it just keeps my list much cleaner. A lot of people also use the single opt-in policy, and that's fine if they want to do that. That's entirely up to them. But you just need to be aware that if you do get in the single opt-in policy route, there are there are scenarios where your list can be significantly increased by bot activity that you might not be aware of at the moment. But for simplicity, and if you're just getting started, my recommendation is start with a double opt-in policy, and that way you know that you're keeping your list clean and you're safe, you're being protected using that double opt-in policy, so that you know that the people who are confirmed on your list are genuine email subscribers who want to be there. Okay, so that's incentive. So that's the incentive email. If you deselect that, then you're creating a single opt-in policy. If you tick that, then they're going to get an incentive email. Now, the incentive email lies under this button. If I click that button there, this is the default of the email. So this is the email they're going to receive when they sign up. Now, what you can do, and what I do, is I personalize this. So I might say it in the subject line, action required. So this is what they see in their email box. And then I'll maybe say, please confirm your email address to download your free guide. So this gives them a prompt, a reminder of what it was they signed up for. And then again, I might put an image reminder, so a visual reminder of what the thing is that they asked for. So I might say in here, add an image, and I might have let's say it's a book, pick any book off Unsplash, but I might have a picture of the book, let's say it was that one, and I'll add that into the email, so that when they see it, they say, I remember that thing, that was the thing I signed up for yesterday or the other day or whatever. And it gives them that visual reminder, because not everyone necessarily checks their email every day, so they might subscribe to your channel today, by requesting a download of a PDF, but they might not actually check their email maybe until tomorrow, or maybe even a couple of days, and by that time they might think, who is this person, what was it? And if you put in there a visual reminder, it just helps to trigger that thought process. And then the button, again, you can change what's on here. So I would say typically download your free guide, and again you can change the colour of the button if you want to make it that colour and keep it consistent with the landing page. And then typically I would also personalise the sign off. Oops. And I'd probably put something more meaningful in here around the content. Not too much, because the single purpose of this email is just to get them to confirm that it was them that requested it. And then click save. So that email is now sitting in there ready to be sent when people submit their details. And then this bit at the bottom, where it says after confirming, redirect them to, and then you get the option of sending them to a URL or to the download itself. So if I wanted to give away a guide, I can click on the download button, I can choose the PDF file, and it'll upload it to Kit, and then Kit will then serve it automatically to the subscribers as and when they confirm their email address. Alternatively, I can use a URL to send them somewhere. So for example, you could send them to the link of, let's say, a Google Doc or a Google Sheet or a PDF that you got stored on a cloud-based storage system. You could send them there, or you could send them to any other page of your choosing. As long as it's got a URL, you can send them to that. The one that's in there by default is just the standard one created by Kit. I'll copy that and I'll put it into a browser so you can see it. This is what they'll see by default: subscription confirmed, boom, you're officially confirmed on the list, expect some great emails, etc, etc. So it's basically just a generic email that they'll, sorry, not an email, a generic page that they'll be taken to, a generic URL that they'll be taken to if you don't change that. So it's entirely up to you what you want to do, either use a URL or the download. The fourth one down, advanced. I'm not going to get into this in too much detail, but essentially you can do a few other things if you want to get a bit advanced with your landing pages. For example, change what's shown to return visitors who have already subscribed to this form. Either continue to show the form, hide the form, or show some custom content. Now, this is, in order to do this, you need to know who it is that's visiting the page first of all. So it needs to be a subscriber already. You need to know it's them, and if it is them, then you can personalize the content, etc. This little checkbox here says send subscriber data to the thank you page. Essentially, what it means is when someone submits their name and their email address, let's say on the landing page, we can ask Kit to pass that information through to the landing page so that we could put on a message that says something like, you know, thank you John, or thank you Susan, or whoever. We can pass that detail through the thank you page and then reuse it on that landing page. And then the last bit here, invisible reCAPTCHA, we can introduce this. This is a protection bit of software that you'll have seen it undoubtedly online somewhere. It's like, you know, the ones, it's like click all the boxes where you see a bridge or where you see a traffic light, that type of stuff. You can introduce that as well, so that helps to mitigate the bots and that type of activity on your page. And then the last one, SEO and analytics. SEO, if you're not familiar with the term, stands for search engine optimization. So basically you can give your landing page a title, some description, an associated image, so if it's found by any of the search engines, it will associate that image with it. If you want it to be ranked by Google and found, okay. You can then also, for analytics, so for reporting purposes, you can connect it to other analytic platforms. The most obvious one is Google Analytics, of course, but you'll see there's a bunch of other ones down there. Again, if you're just getting started, I don't recommend you focus on this. I recommend you just leave it as is, just like the advanced tab, leave that as is, and really only focus on the first three: the general, the domain, and the incentive. Once you've got those the way you want it, click save, and you're now pretty much good to go. So all you need to do now is at the top right corner, click save, and then click publish. Okay. Now you can see down here, this is a URL. Remember, I set it up inside those settings. So if I click this little copy icon and I put it into a browser window and then I paste and hit go, you'll see what you can see what we put on the landing page. People then fill in their first name, their email address, click download free guide, and everything will then start to happen as we've configured it inside our system. So if I was to put my first name and email address in here, I would then get the confirmation email that I'd set up. I'll click the button inside it, and then I'll be taken to that URL. So that's everything you need to know about a landing page. How you set it up, the look and feel of it is entirely up to you. The configurable settings is entirely up to you how you configure them. I just wanted to show you what you can do if you want to, and how you can use it. The beauty of landing pages, like I said at the start, is that everything is contained within Kit. You don't need a website, everything is hosted by Kit, and you can easily share it. So you can have this up running in the matter of half an hour or so, and start to share it with your audience on social platforms. So I hope you found this helpful. If you do, please subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Cheers.